Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today our guest is a actor based out of Detroit. He's been a part of over 30 independent projects and is actively working to make a name for himself. Alfonso Settles is with us today. Alfonso, how are you
Thank
doing?
you. I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm here. Been had a long, busy day, man, but I'm here, and I'm happy to be able to sit down with y'all and chop it up.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So there's a question that I like to start every interview with. It's a very
hmm
simple question, but some
hmm
might find it difficult to answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, and that question is, who is Alfonso Settles?
Who is Alfonso Settles, man? I'm a father. Uh, I think I'm a good person. I'm a mate. Uh, an entertainer. Uh, I can be selfish at times. I can be uh, aloof, so to speak. Just very to myself, but those are what makes me me. So, I don't know if those are bad things or not, but you got to mix the good with the bad.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, okay, so you're from Detroit and you began
Yes,
your career modeling, actually. Did
correct.
modeling,
Yes.
modeling come first before acting?
Well, they kind of came simultaneously. I used to work for this company, and they got me my first modeling gig. And maybe 2 to 3 weeks into me doing the runways, the print ads, the magazines, and stuff like that, I got an audition for this film called Ovid and the Art of Love.
Hmm.
So they had Cordon Bleu for High School Musical. They had John Savage from The Godfather. He'd been acting forever. He's a veteran in the game, and I
Hmm.
was able to share the set with him. And I'm talking like 10 hours on set, just picking this man's brain apart. And I just got bit with the acting bug from there, man. And I ain't looked back ever since. That started back in 2016, 17.
Okay, so you've been acting
Yeah,
since about 2016, 2017. Uh,
correct.
Now, from there, had you done any training, stage plays, did any theater?
Never, nothing. It was totally a
Wow.
new everything for me. I had never done anything.
Okay. Okay. So you just dove right in head first, and
hmm
began learning the craft as you went, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I did take some classes. I took a couple of different courses and whatnot. But yeah, for the most part, man, I just jumped in head first and just tried to make it happen at that point.
okay. So let me ask you this:
hmm
what do you do, and what did you do to develop in your craft?
Initially, what I did was, I knew I needed to get some classes under me, so I did study and take some classes, and just kind of got the basics down. Now what I do a variety of different things when I'm preparing for a role, depending on what that character or what that role consists of. But
Mhm.
I mean, now I watch a lot of movies that are similar to characters that I'm going to be portraying.
Mhm.
Um, and even my old films, I study like my lady teases me all the time, like you keep watching the movie over and over. It's not that I'm watching me over and over. I'm studying
Right.
what I could have did better.
Right.
So on my next film, I know what not to do, and just kind of mix and match.
Yeah.
So and I study actors too, man. The greats, the Denzels, the Samuel Jacksons, the Larry Fishburnes.
Hmm.
A couple of roles that I've had in the past. I've taken bits and pieces from some of those guys and incorporated into my own to create a character. And then it's a little bit of me in every character to give that character soul and authenticity. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just to your point with watching the films over and over again, you're probably studying for like the inflections, the
Yes.
pauses,
hmm
how they word things, how they highlight certain words when they're saying
hmm
things,
hmm
to provide emphasis on their lines, and when they mean something, or when they're trying to get a point across, or if this is the time for you to yell, raise your voice, or whatever the case may be. Uh,
hmm
you're picking up on all of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some of the films that you've been a part of. You've been in He Played Me Too, uh,
Yes.
Paper Heart, Get
hmm
Paid, Cutthroat, Nasty, A Brother's Turmoil, uh, In a Rising Star, which is a series. in
Hmm.
in rose gold, but you have over 30 completed projects to your name.
Correct.
Um, where would you say that your drive comes from as it pertains to doing the work and staying consistent?
I mean, overall, for me, the drive is just wanting to continue to get better and grow. When I look at a film that I did, 4 or 5 years ago compared to something I've done recently, I can see the growth. I can
Mhm.
see where things have have changed and I've gotten better. So that alone for me is kind of what drives me. It's like, I work out. So, I'm naturally a skinny guy.
Mhm.
So when I first started hitting the weights working out, man, I was like a buck 90, but when I would work out and take a picture before and after picture, and then I started looking at those pictures as the weeks progress on, and I could see the progression.
Right.
So when you can see the progression, it's like, wow, this is working. So
Mhm.
now this is what I need to do. I need to focus more here. I need to build more there. So when I'm watching a film or me on film, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, how you just said, I needed to do this. I should have said that. I should have looked this way. I should have, So for me, it's just the constant evolution of growth that I see within myself. That's just one of the factors that drive me. But I think overall, man, just being able to be motivational to people who come from where I come from and who look like me, you
Mhm.
know, from the inner city streets of Detroit, man. The murder city is they call it's the motor city, but they call it the murder city too.
Right.
They don't expect for us to come from here and be nothing,
Yeah.
but we able to shine in a different light. And I just think that things like that overall motivate me to say, hey, listen, I'm from where you from, bro, and I look like you look. I went through some of the things that you went through, and look where I'm at, and look where I'm still climbing. So you can do that too. So being able to motivate other people, that drives me too.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Let's talk a little bit about some of the talent that's in Detroit.
Hmm.
Detroit is definitely a rising area that has a lot of bubbling talent as it pertains to filmmakers, as it pertains to actors. I'm not quite sure about writers, but obviously, some of the filmmakers that write their own projects as well. Yes,
Hmm.
but as far as just people who do screenplays and all of that, I'm sure they're out there. I have yet to come across them, but I do see a lot of actors coming from Detroit, and also a lot of filmmakers, directors,
Correct.
producers, and so on and so forth. Um, what is the talent scene like in Detroit?
It's competitive, unfortunately, and
Mm,
I say unfortunately because we hustlers. We have a hustler's mentality.
mm,
So you know, I remember when I started this back in 2016, 17, it was only like a handful of us, and I do mean a handful, maybe 6 to 7 tops, that
wow.
were consistently trying to, be in film and really dive deep into this and make it a career.
Mm,
Now everybody and their mama's an actor now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want to sound like a hater because if that's what's in your heart and that's what you want to do, then by all means go after it.
mm,
But, I think the thing with us, we get caught up in the other things. They looking at the stardom. They think we make a lot of money, which we don't.
right.
Uh,
Right.
they think all the glitz and glamour, all the recognition, being able to go places and do things and just be recognized everywhere you go. Yeah, that's cool, but for me, I didn't jump into this for that. I jumped into it for it was the passion, the love of the craft. It
Mm,
comes from right here. So I
mm,
tell people, I get people every day, whether they see me out or they DMing me, they messaging me, man, put me in a movie. I want to be in a Tubi movie. I want to be in a Tubi movie. And I'd be like, have you taken any classes?
mm,
Have you ever done anything to move in that direction other than sending me a message? Because if you started with me, that might not be a good look for you. You feel me?
yeah.
Not to say that I won't help people because I absolutely have, but I just got to feel like you really want to do that, and that's just really where you at. But not too far to stray too far away from the question. The scene in the city at this point, the
Mm,
last 3 years is super competitive because everybody and their mama want to act now.
mm. Yeah. No, it's really exploded, and there's a lot of guys out there. Like I'm very familiar with Dennis Reed,
Hmm.
and there's a few people that I'm drawing a blank on, but I know of them, and they have a huge name that's bubbling, straight out of Detroit. And
Hmm.
Detroit as another hub of talent that you would think that there would be, more spotlight there, but it's not quite there yet. And so
Not yet.
you guys are building it on the independent scene, and it's working. It really seems to be working for sure.
Hmm.
Uh, Now you have some up and coming projects as
Yes.
well. Are you able to speak on any of the up and coming projects?
I can elaborate a little bit.
Okay.
I got a film that's getting ready to drop. Actually, the premiere is Saturday here in Detroit. It's called A Girl in the Wall, and I'm excited for that one. That's my guy Rashawn. Shout out to him.
Hmm.
Shout out to Darius. You know, he worked the camera work on that. But I play FBI agent, and we are going after a gang of sex traffickers.
Okay.
And you know, it's a different movie. We trying to we are going to spin it off into a series called Donovan Tate, which is my character from Girl in the Wall. So once you see the movie, you'll understand how it spins off into the series. But you know, I'm very excited about that. And
Hmm.
I got a plethora of other films that I've done in the last year and a half almost that just haven't hit yet. I got one called Deliveries from Eva. We
Okay.
shot that out of Texas last year, so that should be dropping by the summer. Another one called Kingsman.
Hmm.
I shot that out of Dallas, Texas. That should be dropping by the fall, I was told. But we shot that last
Yeah.
January, if I'm not mistaken, of
Oh wow.
23. Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Um, what else? I'll be drawing blanks, man. I got a lot of stuff coming,
Yeah. No,
and
you have a lot of projects under your name, man, for
yeah,
sure. I
yeah,
have some of them written here as well. The Housekeeper,
yep,
uh,
yep. The Housekeeper's coming. So I think
Fatal.
that's July 2nd.
Okay. Fatal
Hmm.
Secret,
Fatal Secret, my man Will Coleman. We did
and
our
then
thing on that.
Catalyst.
Hmm.
And then you also have a new film that you're going to begin working on called Broad Day, which is based on a true story in Detroit. Um,
Yes.
you able to speak on that? And then secondly, do you know when you begin filming?
Okay, so Broad Day. Shout out to Man Robinson for making that happen to me. He's the director out of Atlanta. He's actually from Detroit, but he's
Yeah.
in Atlanta. I
Yeah.
actually fly out tomorrow.
Oh wow.
My first film day is going to be Friday for that.
Okay.
So I fly out tomorrow, get settled, get situated, then we'll hit the set and get started on Friday. So I'm excited for that. I play a police chief, and that's
Mhm.
all I can really say. I can't go into a whole lot of detail about that one,
Sure.
but yeah,
Sure.
it's
Sure.
gonna be a great film. Got a
Yeah.
lot of good talent on there too from here.
Yeah. It's got my man Karan Joseph Riley is a
Hmm.
part of the cast.
Hmm.
There's several other names, and my apologies that I don't know everybody offhand, but yeah, it looks like a good lineup, and I'm excited to see how that one turns out, man, because it
Yeah.
looks it looks strong,
Yeah.
and that the fact that it's a true story based out of Detroit, so I'm
Hmm.
interested in knowing what the story is about.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna
Yeah,
be good.
yeah. Now there's a lot of. Oh no, I already said that, so I'll scratch that off the interview. Let me ask you this: what kind of
Hmm.
roles are you looking for, or are you looking to take on moving forward?
Action. I
Action.
want to do action.
Okay.
Um, you know, being in this game as long as I've been for the 7, 8 years I've been doing it, you know, we've told a lot of hood stories. I
Hmm.
mean, it's only so many shoot 'em up, bang bangs, the stripper on the pole, the drugs. I mean, that's cool, but I just feel like we have so many more stories to share with the world. So, for me, like I said, this girl in the wall spinning off into Donovan Tate. We're gonna kick it up a notch, and we're gonna do something that really has not been done out of the city yet, man. We're gonna start focusing on the action realm. I'm
Okay.
already, getting my body together. I mean, I'm together, but I'm getting it the way I want it to get.
Uh-huh.
So when we start doing this action stuff, man, I'm gonna be ready and it's gonna be good. We're gonna set the city on fire. And we finna do something that nobody in Detroit, I mean, nobody has done it yet. But we're about to do it.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love to hear that. And you're right. We do need more films outside of
Hmm.
the drug game, the stripper gang, and just hood stories, because there's a lot of dynamics to us, a lot of dynamics to people of color. There's all types of stories that we can tell. They don't always have to include violence or
Hmm.
sex. There's a lot of everyday people who are doing a lot of extraordinary things, and they never get talked about, or they never get highlighted, or that
Mm-hmm.
particular genre never gets touched. And I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
almost because it might be too much of a challenge for people to take on, but we need to be able to take on that challenge and push ourselves to start telling these stories. And
No,
so
I agree.
for you guys to get into the action realm, and provide a different viewpoint, especially on the independent side, is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm excited.
So you about to get your Dwayne Rock Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been talking to a few people, man, that we're gonna make it happen. And they say to me, like, no joke, they say, listen, and I take it as a hell of a compliment. I
Mm,
don't think I'm nowhere near that, but I've had at least 4 or 5 different people at different times say this to me here. They say, listen, The Rock don't have no competition in Hollywood.
no, he really doesn't.
It's like it's not too many people walking around at 6'5", 6'6", 260 pounds, cut
Yeah,
up muscle and can act.
yeah,
He the only one is doing it. He the only one, and they saying that he ain't got no competition. You're gonna be the next one. So I just be like, damn, really? Like, okay. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, I don't even think, like, I'm not gonna say I don't think highly, but to compare myself to people to compare me to that, I'm like, nah, man, nah.
Right.
But they like, nah, why not? Why not you? So
Yeah.
we gonna see. We gonna
And
see.
you gotta start, speaking it into existence and start
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself in that position to where you believe that you can actually get there. Because a lot of you getting to those stages is belief first, and
Yeah.
then action second. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the more you see yourself in those roles will come for sure.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. What's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm about to jump. I'm gonna stay in front of the camera. That's
Mhm.
my passion, but I'm gonna jump behind it from the production side of things, and
Okay.
got some stuff in the works already. Where I'm gonna start writing and producing. I mean, I have to at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
that's what's next.
let's talk about it just for a brief second, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Yeah.
Um, Writing. Are you just getting into writing? Have you been writing?
I'm just getting into it. Like I dabbled and dabbled here and there, but now I'm really getting down to where I'm sitting down old school with the pen and the pad, and I'm
Mhm.
just writing out the treatments, and we finna make it happen. And
Okay.
actually, some of the stuff that I got, I kind of surprised myself. Like, okay, like all right, we could do something with this. And I done ran it past a couple of people, and they like, yeah, this fire, bro. Like,
Mhm.
let's keep it going. So
Yeah.
that's what's going on. That's what's on the horizon for me.
Right. And you can also absolutely lead the charge in telling some of these stories that need to be told outside
Hmm.
of gang culture, hood stories, strip
Hmm.
stories, things of that nature. So
Right.
yeah. Um, and then as far as the production side, are you looking to actually be the producer, executive producer, as far as the person who is um, organizing everything and making sure everybody comes to set and everything is done on time and things of that nature, or are you looking to kind of be more so on the financing aspect of things to where
No, I'm gonna be the, I mean a little bit of both, but more so I'm gonna be the one that rally everybody together. Hey, let's do this. We need to do this. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be there. Now, I'm gonna have a couple of people helping me.
Mhm.
We're gonna help each other, but that's really where I'm coming from with it.
Okay, all right. That's what's up, man. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing an Alfonso Settles project written by Alfonso Settles, produced by
Hmm.
Alfonso Settles.
It's
I know
coming.
that's coming. Is that something that you plan on? Is that a goal for you in 2024? Are you looking like 2020?
Um, possibly,
Okay,
possibly, but if not, definitely no later than 25. I'm
okay,
just at a point now where, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my city.
yeah,
This is where I'm from, but it's just time to do something on a different scale. And, sometimes the opportunities that you deserve, you don't always get them
mhm,
for whatever the politic reason is.
yeah,
We're not even going to get into that, but, sometimes when the door is being shut in every avenue, or even if the door is not being shut, it's just not being open for you the way you need it to be. Sometimes you just got to create your own door. So
right,
that's just kind of the lane that I'm in right now.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, So for the roles that you've currently had on the independent
Hmm.
side,
Hmm.
um, were any of those roles where you had to audition in person, or have they been mostly self-tape? How's it work for you?
It's been a mix of both. Prior to the pandemic, everything was in person.
Hmm.
They wasn't really even looking at self tapes like that. But once the pandemic hit us and we just kind of had to redo life, literally,
Yeah.
that's when the self taping came in for me. So honestly, though, I prefer to audition in person, face to face, versus doing it over the video because I feel like when I'm in front of you and physically, you can
Hmm.
feel my presence from the time I walk in the room before I even say anything. And then when I get to going into the character, and I prefer a cold read. I don't like to do monologues. I can do them, but I don't like to. I would rather you hand me a sheet of paper, you give me a quick synopsis of what's going on in this scene, and then we rock it out. I feel like sometimes that's the best way, the best authentic way, because a lot of times when you got a monologue and you got to do it, it's something like I don't want to say you can be over prepared, but you might think too much.
Yeah.
I just want to come in, hey, how you doing? Yes, my name's Alfonso, and answer whatever questions they got for me. Give me the piece of paper, tell me, hey, you're him, and she's gonna read with you, and then boom, let's get it. And I
Hmm.
feel like that's just the most authentic way to do it. You feel my presence, my energy. You can feel and see the mannerisms that it's just better in person. You will feel it better in person than you will over the phone or over a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can also read, read the room, see what the people who are you're auditioning in front of. You can see their
Mm-hmm.
facial expressions, see what they think,
Mm-hmm.
give you some feedback, or they can just say, "Okay, thank you for your audition. We'll get back to you soon."
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay. Awesome. And so this is basically that's pretty much all I had for you. This is the end of the interview and the part of the interview where I like to give my guests the final word, whether
Mm-hmm.
that be a piece of advice, words of encouragement, or a quote that you like to live by. You can say all three, or you can give one of the three. It's up to you.
I guess a word of advice, just, or a quote that's simple, just bet on you, believe in you, and to piggyback off of that, just, um, if acting is something that you really want to do, then do it, go after it, but let it be because it's here, it's coming from the heart. Don't let it be for any monetary gain or you trying to be famous and on TV because that's nothing. You won't last, trust me.
Yeah.
And in this industry, sometimes it's the long game. You got to
Mm.
play the long game. People think that I just started acting like I just came out of nowhere. No, I've been trying to wait for 8 years. I've been trying for 8 years, and I didn't really get the recognition till about 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm.
So I've been plugging away and plugging away and plugging away. And now, if you look and see, now I got about 40 projects to my name now, and counting. So it's the
Yeah.
long game. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna be easy. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of rejection. A ton of no's. So that one yes feel like $10 billion because you didn't been told no so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And once you do get that yes, that is the motivation for you to keep going.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
and and it's also the validation that okay, I am doing something right. It's just it takes time.
It do. It do. But when the time
Yeah.
is right, it's right.
Right. Absolutely. And from my point of view, to from the outside looking in, it looks like the time is right for you, and I see that you're taking on a lot of roles, and I wish you nothing but the utmost amount of success, and I'm going to continue to watch from the sidelines, root you on. We will support you in all of your endeavors. I am going to continue to look forward to a Alfonso Settles project
It's
at some
coming.
point,
It's coming.
and yeah, it's coming, man. So, without further ado, Alfonso Settles, everybody.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.